Hola, everyone. It's Melissa from Miracles Within Us, and I want to thank you all for being here. I do know that there is a slight delay, but I am happy to be here with you, and I also want to thank all of you for all the support and love. As I needed to postpone the session till now from 12 p.m. to now 3 p.m. And so my car got towed, and then I had to go get it. And it was just all this running around, and it was all very unexpected. So I am here now. I'm excited to be with you all. And as always, I like to begin with an angel card and invite the angelic beings and beings of 100% pure light into our sessions. So today we will be discussing spirituality and sexuality, two of the same. And if you saw my trailer, you would have seen that it talking about like sexuality and spirituality and what that really looks like for a lot of us. Okay, wonderful. So I want to begin with the card of the day, and I'm going to use the Archangel Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. Okay, wonderful. And I just want to also let you guys know that if you have Google Hangout, Google Plus here, you can submit your questions on the side. Okay, wonderful. And I see Dianise, you're doing great. Oh, thank you so much. You know, Dianise is a sexuality expert, and she owns Sexuality Power. And Dianise, you could put your website on the side so everyone could see. And I'm so glad that you're here supporting me at this moment in time when we're talking about spirituality and sexuality. So I'm really excited to have her on board here as well. So let's see what the angels would like to share with us. And the card just popped out. Let me go get that. And, flying cards are meaning high importance. At least that's how I interpret it. Everyone has their own way of doing their own angel readings. So the card that we have for today is All is Well. Archangel Japhiel, everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to, with hidden blessings you will soon understand. And I just want to show you this. I needed to hear this message today because I have to tell you, I was crying because of like all the emotions that came, like, oh, I have to go home and do all this stuff, and I have to go get the car. And I felt really like I was irresponsible, and I'm really, really a responsible person. So it kind of like threw me off balance. But it's amazing because it showed me how even in our highest states, because in bliss, sometimes things happen in our world to help us to remind us that we're here. I feel that I live a very beautiful, privileged life, being able to do what I love on a daily basis. And so I guess sometimes I may forget what it feels like to not do things that you want to do, like go pick up your car, and having to depend on other people to help you go get those means, right? Go get the car, drive you back, and all these things. So I know that all of us have been dealing with a lot of energy, and we're all been working on clearing ourselves. And I know that this is not what the topic is about for today, but I find it really important to share with everyone what is going on and that you're not alone in your struggle. And just like Archangel Japhiel states in the card, all is well. So our message today is all is well, and that there are hidden messages in everything that is happening in our life. And we may not understand what that is, but it definitely has something that is going to help enhance our spirituality and sexuality. So now that we're moving into spirituality, sexuality, and for those of you who just joined in, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please share the link with your friends and family. I will also have this recorded on my YouTube channel at Miracles Within Us. So please feel free to even share it with your friends or watch it again, and put your favorite part of the session. So spirituality, sexuality. Spirituality, we have a lot of different ways of expressing and expression in both spirituality and sexuality. And what I have learned throughout time and through my own experience, especially connecting with the angels, has been that spirituality and sexuality are two of the same. And that is why I named my title Spirituality and Sexuality, Two of the Same. Because we have been taught, okay, I know that there's no right or wrong in this, but I'm just sharing information with you. And this is based on my own experience. We have been taught throughout time that spirituality is here and sexuality is here, and the two do not combine. But the truth is that they both come from the same energy, the energy of high bliss, right, which is high consciousness. And if you look at sexuality and you think of orgasm or climax, it's the same energetic vibration. Okay. And what this is showing is that because these are the same vibrational frequency, that they're both the same. It's just seen, or we have put it in a separate category. Okay. So I know that for a lot of us, and I know for myself included, that when I really started practicing spirituality and started becoming very in like connected with the angels, I practice celibacy. And people often do that, right? We have monks who are highly spiritual and they do not interact in sexual behaviors, just like nuns and priests, depending on religion and background. Now, that does not mean that not having sexual experiences makes you more spiritual. Okay. You have to tap in within yourself and see how you can get to your spiritual heightness and your sexual heightness at the same time. A lot of people go into it because of the way we've been programmed, and the way I was programmed was that, oh, in order for me to be highly spiritual, I needed to be celibate. And what I've learned through that process is that as I was denying or not paying attention to my sexual desires, I was not able to fully connect spiritually. So as I started to explore both my spirituality and sexuality, as I started to explore both of them at the same time, meaning allowing myself to be fully expressive sexually, right? Allowing myself to receive and give, right? Because it's a receiving and a giving process. In order for you to receive and give in both, it ended up being the same energetic vibrational frequency. Okay. Now, you don't have to agree with me on this. Okay. I'm just giving you information based on what I've been through in my life, and what I've seen by looking at other spiritual leaders in the community, like Deepak Chopra. And Deepak Chopra did a wonderful video, um, I think like a few years back, on spirituality and sexuality as well. And pretty much saying that spirituality and sexuality are the same. And I completely agree with that based on what I have experienced. Now, as I started to realize that I started to express myself spiritually and I started to express myself sexually, my energetic vibrational frequency started to heighten. And not only did that heighten and allowed me to just be free in my expression, I also started to see that I was connecting deeper with my clients, okay, getting to the core of what is going on for them so that they can use whatever tools they need to move forward. And also, it has helped me financially because as I was in more blissful states, because I am blissfully in my vibrational frequency and spirituality, and then blissfully in my vibrational frequency of sexuality, which are natural human behaviors. Okay, and we are humans, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. We need to express our human self, and a part of our human self is also being sexual, and it's about creating the balance and seeing that both are actually the same. Okay, so I also wanted to share, and you guys could leave comments on the side. You agree, you don't agree, or you want to add something. Know that I am sharing what I know, and I am hoping that we can have some form of a discussion in our sexuality. Okay, so some myths that we have around sexuality, I did express one, was that you, in order for you to be highly spiritual, you need to be celibate, or very monogamous. Okay, um, or just monogamous. So you need to tap into the truth within yourself. Okay, and this is where a lot of people get confused, because for one person, monogamy may be um their power, right? Their sexual power and their spiritual power, right? Or their vibrational frequency, their natural behavior. And for others, not being monogamous is also their power. So each person is individually individually needs to become truthful with themselves and let go and unlearn, keywords, unlearn the behaviors that we've been taught around spirituality and sexuality. And this is something that you have will not happen all of a sudden. Yes. Okay. This is something that with time, as you start exploring both, you start seeing what you enjoy more and what you enjoy less, and how to put that into who you are. Okay. So I just want to take in a deep breath. I just feel all this surge of energy all of a sudden, and I'm feeling a lot of love from all of you. And I want to just acknowledge that. Okay? Thank you so much, because I just felt that like come into my chest. And that is something, I'm able to feel those things because I'm also allowing myself to express myself, not only spiritually, as you know me and miracles within us, but I'm also able to express myself sexually. Okay, and I'm very honest with myself and what it is I want to explore and not explore, what I want to experience and not experience. Okay, wonderful. So let's take in a deep breath in. Oh, that felt so good. Thank you, thank you, thank you all so very much. And I have here my 2 clear quartz crystals. They are amazing. And I see some comments over here. Okay. Oh, wonderful. Denise wrote down her sexualitypower.com. I would recommend all of you go find her also on Pinterest. If you are on Pinterest, Twitter, if you don't know what that is, go download it on your phone. She talks about spirituality as herself in the mornings with her morning affirmations, but she talks about sexual expression and how that looks like for different people. And I'm only going to tap into that very minimal here, but if you want to get more information, definitely find please go to sexualitypower.com. And Denise, if you can please write down your Periscope name. I think it's Sexuality Expert, but I just want to make sure. So she's on Periscope. Okay, and and you could see the comments on the side. Okay. Oh, Denise wrote, love you, soul sister. I love you too. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for everyone and all their beautiful comments. It's just really, really, I'm really, really happy. So let's return back to spirituality and sexuality. They both create the same type of vibrational frequency. And this may be news to you, like new news to you, or you may have heard this in the past. Okay. Okay, so her periscope is sexuality expert. So follow Dionese sexuality expert on Periscope. Wonderful. Okay, so I wrote like little notes earlier. So sexuality, spirituality is all about our behaviors and our perceptions. Okay. And as you start working on one, the other one becomes elevated. And I want to share with you this because if you know about the chakra system, the second chakra, whether you know about it or not, I'm going to explain. The second chakra is the sacral chakra. Our sacral chakra is connected to the vibrational frequency of ourselves, both energetically and physically, for creativity and intimacy. Okay, those are what they're mainly known for. Okay, your sacral chakra. So if you put that in one, you have your creative energy. Okay, so if you have your creative energy in, excuse me, you have your creative energy and your sexual energy, it creates the same type of feeling. So I don't know if you ever tapped into yourself, if you studied and went to school, most of us did, and you got really excited about studying or you became creative in a project, you may notice that there was some sexual response that happened. Okay, some form of arousal, and a lot of us don't understand why. And the reason why is because it's in the same energy center, it's the same type of energy. When we're creating something, okay, whether it's a project or business, whatever it is that we're creating, when we create this, okay, it's the same energy as our intimacy. So we feel a sense of deepness, connection, in the same vibrational frequency. Excuse me. So I also want to talk about the creation process in itself. So as we know, we have source or God, depending on how you follow. I'm going to use source, universe. Okay. The For creation to occur, if you think about the natural way in which we work in the reproductive system, right? There is intimacy, right? There is, most of the time, we have sex, right? That's how we are able to duplicate, right? And make children, right? That's how the our generations are able to continue. And so we have sex and we create a child. So let's say, two people, they're having sex and they create a child. And then this child then is most of the time a ball of love, right? You love your child. And just follow with me. You don't have to agree like, oh, I want children. I'm just trying to show you the process of creation, okay? Just the natural process of creation. So creation, when you're having sex, that's spiritual, energetic, that's orgasm, that's heightened sexual experience, energy, right? And then that is what's creating this beautiful life. Life is made out of what? It's made out of a spiritual, right? This spirit that connects, that's created in the womb of a carrying mother, right? Or the woman carrying the baby. At this moment in time, men cannot carry the baby, so I'm just going to say women carrying the babies until science can figure that out, which would be so freaking awesome, by the way. But I'm just saying. So I just want to look at the comments real quick. Awesome. Just give me a moment here. I'm just putting the questions so I could see what everyone is writing. Oh, thank you, everyone. I love you. I love you all so very much. So, how does the spirituality, sexuality relate to someone who's spiritual but never had sex? Okay, so that's a really interesting thing, and this is something, if you never had sex, right? This is something by choice. So your choice is that not having sex is your path. Now, there may be desires to want to have sex. It's a natural thing. I'm not saying go ahead and have sex. Go have sex when you're ready, when you want to. Okay? Um but the truth of the matter is that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So we're from spirit, okay? Which is when you think about the reproductive system and how we are created through the spirit, okay? Then we have the sexuality, which is an outward expression of, you could say, your spirit or your desires of a heightened vibrational frequency. So I want to talk about the heightened vibrational frequency. Okay. So in orgasm or climax, okay, and a high spiritual experience where you're connecting to the divine, the same thing ends up happening. And what I mean by this is our body, mind, body, spirit goes through the same process. And this process is where we completely release the ego. Okay? This is the process where we completely release the ego. In our heightened point, right? Like that high point, both spiritually and emotionally. I mean, spiritually and sexually, right? What happens is the ego, it's almost like the ego kind of fades, okay? And you become carelessness. There's also a sense of what they would call timelessness, okay? Where time is not relevant. If you think about like when you're orgasming, you're not looking at the time it's exactly 3:22 p.m. and that's my climax. It's not relevant. And that's a high spiritual experience, because in spirit there's no time, there's no such thing as time, right? There's no such thing as that. And that's the same thing that happens with when it physiologically, when we're going through a sexual experience. um Now, you also have to be honest with yourself about what it is you are doing, because there's people out there who are having meaningless sex. And yes, you still, get orgasm and things along those lines, but are you using that energy, right? What are you using that energy on? Because that energy is very, very powerful. Okay. Um, so I'm going to see if there's any other questions. Please feel free to write in the side how you feel. I thought I marked that one before. Okay, awesome. Okay. So I know there's a delay, so I'm just waiting for people to just kind of put something up here that you may have around spirituality and sexuality. So some myths that may, come with, spirituality, or let's stick with spirituality, right? Some myths around spirituality. In order for you to be spiritual, you have to do things correctly, the right way, in a particular order. Spirituality does not work in an order. Okay, neither does sexuality, right? Spiritual, oh, first let me do this and then I do that. It doesn't happen that way. It's free flowing. Okay, free flowing. And that's the same thing with sexuality. Okay, if you're having meaningless sexual experiences, then you may not be in integrity with what it is you want. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Okay, for someone who wants to indulge in sex, but is but has issues with committing to one special partner. Okay, good question. So talking about like being sex and being committed to one person, that is a choice, and you should not feel guilty to feel as if you you shouldn't feel guilty, right? The guilt is coming from ego, where we see ourselves in being in a particular way. So you have to almost unlearn what it is you believe about yourself. Okay. um Okay, and then someone wrote, how much should one wait to have sex, so for their first spiritual, sexual experience? That's a very good question, and the truth is, only you can tell, right? There is like, oh, when you're 21, you're ready. No, it's based on how you feel, how you want to be connected with the person you're considering to have sex with. Okay? If it's like the first time ever having sex, you all, yeah, there's different types of feelings for people. Some people is like scared, some people's excitement, whatever. Right. But even if it's like you've been sexually active and you met a new partner and you're really feeling each other out, and you want to see that you have the same understandings or the same agreements about what it is you expect during, before, during, and after this sexual interaction. See, a lot of the times we assume that the other person wants the same as we do. Okay, meaning they want, if it is that you want to have a relationship, and then you're, getting to know each other, and you never said it to the person, and you're having sexual relations thinking that that's going to lead you to having a relationship with that person, you may be in a space where you're unhappy because you did not have that dialogue. So you want to make sure that with you and your partner that you have the same understandings or the same agreements of what is expected from the both of you. If you are, if you're going to be polyamorous is having more than one partner. Okay. Um, and monogamous is just having one, right? Being with one partner at a time, not one partner for lifetime, meaning one partner at a time, right? So I hope I was able to answer that question. If I did not answer it the way you've liked, please feel free to write again. Okay, let's see. So I do want to talk about guilt a little bit with both spirituality and sexuality. Um, I found that when I speak to people, right, because they know that I'm spiritual and I have a spiritual practice, and I ask them, so what's your spiritual practice? And then they say, well, oh, Melissa, I don't have one, or I stopped. And then they have like this guilt. Okay. That guilt energy is a big no-no in both spirituality and sexuality. Why? Because it's going to hinder you from moving forward. It's going to stop you. It's not going to allow you to move to the next level you want to move into. Having a spiritual practice is based on your own individual need. Okay. And that need changes over time. So for instance, in the beginning, when I started my spiritual journey, well, when I started intensely on my spiritual journey, right? I used to wake up when I would wake up every morning, I was silent for 30 minutes. No one can talk to me. I couldn't get no phone, no nothing. That was a part of my experience, and I would just be present in every moment. So if I'm brushing my teeth, I'm brushing my teeth. If I'm walking back to my bedroom, that's what I'm thinking. Walking to my bedroom, I'm opening the door. I'm closing the door. I'm going to find clothes. So I had like this dialogue of being completely present. And that was a part of my spiritual connection in the beginning. Okay. And with sexuality, when I really started to not like when I first started having sex, but when I first started to see the connection of spirituality has this heightened vibrational frequency, I started to direct this energy in a way um, that it assists me in completing my goals. Okay, so let me see, how can I really explain that? I'm not sure how I can explain that. It's more of a an experience. So you will so when I was, with my spiritual practice is a little bit easier to define, where it's like silence for 30 minutes every morning, and that helped me. And then throughout the day I was very present, and it helped me remain present when things were happening in my life that I was not really happy. And this was before I had miracles within us. And I had the confidence to say, yes, I'm an angelic channeler. I was holding on to that for so long. Okay. And then when I was able to express that, and then my sexual energy also started to become very aroused. And at one point I was like, oh, what am I going to do? I'm all aroused sexually, and here I am being spiritual. And that's what kind of like I started to see that being spiritual and being sexual is the same thing. Okay. But you want to make sure that the person you're exchanging energy with is also in the same frame of what you want in your life. Okay, so again, if they're polyamorous and you want a monogamous relationship, you may run into issues. Okay, if you're polyamorous and they're monogamous, they're going to want certain things from you. And there's things you have to agree, work out. Not saying that they can't work, right? One partner could be monogamous and another partner could be polyamorous, and that could be the way they function and it works well for them. Okay, you need to be honest with yourself throughout the whole process of your sexual experiences. Okay, I'm gonna look over here, see if you have any other questions. Please feel free to put it on the side over here. I'm loving that you guys are actually writing to me, and I love having this dialogue. Okay. Um, so what are some other myths that people have? So sexual behaviors. Let's talk about sexual behaviors. Um, so, you know, how do I say this without, so please excuse me if I offend you. I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to get it out in a way that I'm not offending. Okay. So if you think about like sexual orientation versus sexual identity, very different things. Okay. And this could be also a very spiritual experience for someone. When someone says, something, I'm transgender, I was born with male parts, and here I am, I identify myself as a female. Okay, and they go through their own process. Whether they choose to change their physical is irrelevant to your identity. Your identity is how you see yourself and how you want to be recognized in the community. And I hope I expressed that correctly. And please feel free to fix me over here in this side. Not fix me, but like, tell me the proper way in which to express it. Okay. Um, let's see. So someone wrote, everything you're speaking to is hitting home for me. Thank you for sharing. I'm honored by how expressive you are. Oh, thank you. Oh, I appreciate that. Okay. I get excited for really small things. Sometimes people don't understand me, right? Like when I got my phone. Oh, I got an iPhone. I'm so happy that I got a new phone. And I got a hot pink case. And I know that has nothing to do with this, but I just want to show you like I'm that girly. That's why I have a pink flower. I have a pink lipstick. I'm so girly. Anyways, and I just consider girly to be, and people have their own definition, just someone who really likes to express a lot of the feminine energy. Okay. And they express their feminine energy by, I guess, having the pinks and the purples and the flowers. And that's just some way how I express. Okay. So I completely lost my train of thought before. But I do, it's really, really it's really important for us to see how we identify ourselves in the community and not how others see us or how we've been taught we should be seen. And this is really important in sexuality and spirituality. Because if you are, let's say you're transgender and you know you're transgender, but you have not yet moved into the space of putting it out there, being honest with yourself and with the community and the people who are in your life, what happens here is that sexually you're not satisfied because you feel limited. Okay, you could only express yourself in certain places or with certain people, not all the time. Okay, and what happens in this construction, like this little constriction little box that you create in your spirit, in your sexual energy, then moves into your spiritual energy, because a part of being expressive spiritually is also recognizing who you are in totality. Acceptance is one of the biggest things in spirituality, and it's also one of the biggest things in sexuality. So they're both, if you see that, it's both the same. In order for you to have really pleasurable experiences in spirituality, you need to be honest with yourself. You need to have full acceptance of your abilities, right? When I started to fully accept that was an angelic channeler, then I was also able to accept my spiritual expression, okay? And just let myself be, okay? And then can I just say that my experiences have been amazing. Like I I don't want to give you all my details, like, whatever. Um but my connection to spirit is so heightened. I could feel things so much deeper for myself, for my clients, for the people I love. Like, hey honey, what's going on? Like, I'm able to tap into that so easily and so effectively, because I also allowed myself and accepted that I am a sexual being as well, and I want to express myself in many different ways, and these are the ways in which I'm going to express myself. Okay, wonderful. So I'm just going to look over again at the questions, and I'm loving you guys. Thank you so much for sending me questions and writing, and connect with one another as well. Okay. Okay, so someone is asking about polyamorous. Okay. And do you mean multiple partners at the same I'm reading it my own way. Partners at the time of sexual act, or multiple partners in dating. So dating is different, right? So maybe not. You if you're honest about it with the so if you're dating people and they know that you're dating and that you may be having sexual experiences with other people, that's fine. That's somewhat polyamorous, but what I mean is actually being in a relationship. Um and when I'm expressing in this video here, in the polyamorous relationship, like multiple you have multiple partners, and all of those partners are in agreement to what this polyamorous relationship is. And there's different dynamics of polyamorous relationship. So for instance, there could be a polyamorous relationship where one partner is polyamorous and the other is not. Okay. And they're monogamous. So the polyamorous maybe have two lovers, but the monogamous only has that one lover, and that's their agreement. Okay. And then there's also polyamorous relationships where both parties are open, and what a lot of people see as open relationships as I can date other people, and I can have sex with other people, and so can you. And then there's also polyamorous relationships that they have sex together. So maybe it's like three people, and they're consistently always those three together. So each one is individual. Um, and I hope I was able to explain that. And if I didn't explain it completely, or you're confused about what I just said, please feel free to write again. And I love the question. It is so wonderful, and I hope I was able to explain it. But dating is different than being in a relationship, because dating, depending on your own individual rules, you can date multiple partners. I know that for myself. if I'm really feeling someone and we're in the dating stage, it's really hard for me to date other people. That's just me, because I like to just focus on one thing at a time, and that's my Capricorn energy. um my Capricorn energy is that going up, you see the goal and you're going for it, and you don't stop until you get it. And that's how it also relates in my sexual experiences. Doesn't mean that my if I'm dating that I expect my partners, the person I'm talking to also have that, unless we have a discussion and we made an agreement on that. And you have to be honest about your agreements, and you need to be truthful about your agreements. And hey, we all fall into this category. This has happened to me many times, where I'm like, okay, we're dating, and then all of a sudden I get jealous, right? Or they get jealous because they saw that I dated someone else. And our agreement was that we can talk to other people, but then things happen. So being honest, to be like, hey, I really didn't like that. I really would like us to be just us two, or us two with someone else together. So you need to be honest, and there's no right way. And it's hard. This is really difficult to explain, because we also have religion, and I don't want to like not talk about that, because we've been taught through religion certain things. So I was raised Catholic, um and I remember that the nuns, when I used to go to CCD classes on Sunday, they used to like like masturbation is wrong. You must wait for marriage to have sex. You must blah blah blah, must. And I felt all this constriction. Okay, and for some people that is wonderful. Like they love it. That serves them so well. For others, it isn't. And the truth is that we're human, right? And we are from the mammal family. Okay? If you think about evolution, okay? Um and our natural behavior is to gather. And what I mean by that is to be in groups. So it's natural that we would want to have sexual experiences with other people. It is completely natural. And I know that a lot of women have issues with this, and I've seen this over time, and this is also with men, but they have over time. um I completely forgot my train of thought because I saw a question pop up on my screen and I got excited. So if anyone wants to remind me what I was just talking about, but I'll move into this, what I see here. Yes, thank you. It makes sense. I love that you're wearing red and pink and express love yourself and your girly side. Oh yeah, I'm so girly, but I'm also quite masculine at times, which is really really interesting to see. When it comes to like business, I could be more masculine, like I want it this way, right? And that's also part of the Capricorn part of me as well, where things are like step by step, one by one. If you give me too many things, I definitely get overwhelmed. Okay, so this one. So thank you. Yes, I'm glad that I was able the girly, and then you're also Capricorns. Hey, hey to my Cappies. Whoop, 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 whoop. I love my Cappies. Awesome. So let's see. We got another question that just popped up. I think I'm not sure the order of how things are going. Um, oops. Okay. Sorry, I'm loving, you know, I just want to say something really, really, really important about energy that's happening to me as we speak. And if I get emotional, okay, just accept my emotion. Okay, I hope you can accept my emotion. Okay. So, right before this call, I was like, maybe I should cancel for another day, because of everything that was going on with me. And then I was like, you know, I made a commitment. I made this obligation. And you want to know something? I'm so, so, so happy that I am right here right now. That I'm right here right now with all of you. Because even though all of that crap happened earlier today, this morning with my car, okay, I feel so much bliss right now with all of you that that doesn't even matter. And I want to thank you for that. Okay. And that is the power of full expression, because my true self, my true Melissa is the one who always wants to be of service. And that brings me most joy. And when that brings me joy, when you're in joy, it brings you the sense of satisfaction. And when you get satisfaction, it moves you into bliss. So I'm in my bliss right now. Okay. And I wasn't before we got into this call. And I just want to thank you all for that. Okay. So I'm just gonna I see a few questions here and I'm just gonna run through them really quickly, see if I missed anything. Um, I know I did talk about this one about guilt, and I feel like there's something else I need to share about the guilt, and that's why I haven't put that I answered that question. So the angels are telling me to take in a breath. So I'm going to ask all of us to do this, and we could all take in a breath together. So breathe in and out. Beautiful. Thank you. So guilt is a very low vibrational frequency. It goes with fear. Even anger is a higher vibrational frequency than guilt. And the reason why anger is a higher vibrational frequency is because anger makes you do something. It creates movement, where guilt creates stagnant. Okay, and anything that makes you stagnant or makes you stuck, it has a lower vibration. Okay, so I'm sharing this with you now to apply it to both your spirituality and sexuality, but also in other areas of your life, to realize I don't want to be stagnant. I don't want to be still, because if you're still, then you are not growing. Okay, growth is with movement. Okay, and that's why even anger, even though it's not like the best expression, but it's a higher vibrational frequency. And joy is one of the highest, and then enlightenment is the highest vibrational frequency. And enlightenment happens when you both get into a really high spiritual space and when you are climaxing in your sexual experiences. Okay, and this could be a sexual experience with yourself and with someone else. Okay, it's the same energy. It rises through your kundalini. Kundalini is the energy center. So I'm just going to say this really quickly, and you could dismiss it. If you understand it, great. If you don't, great. um, we used to breathe through the kundalini, or what we would consider prana or chi, okay, depending on your culture. And when the fall of Atlantis happened, we then learned how to breathe through the nose and the mouth. We used to actually physically breathe in through, we used to breathe in life force energy through our crown chakra. And that's how we breathed and moved around on earth. But just wanted to share that for those of you who already know. If you don't know that, just dismiss it. It's not really relevant in that. But for those of you who did, it might click something. So I just want to give for everyone, okay, for those who are, have a lot of knowledge in one area or another. So I'm just trying to tap into everyone's needs. Yeah. Okay. Which angels to call on to help and shield? Okay. And this is with, okay. Okay, perfect. This is a wonderful, all angels. It doesn't, you don't even need to know the angel in particular. Okay. But Archangel Raphael works very well. Because Archangel Raphael is a healer, okay, but also connects with love. So Archangel Raphael will help with sexual expression, because in sexual expression and spiritual expression, there has to be this sense of acceptance and pure love of yourself. Okay. And as that starts going up, 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 um, that creates more and more intense experiences for you. And there's probably so many more. I just can't really. I'm trying to feel out. So what they're sharing with me. Okay, Raphael works very well, and Michael, of course, because Michael is about shielding and protection, and also life force. Okay, when you're struggling with your purpose in life, um, Archangel Michael helps. And what I've learned is that to figure out your true purpose in life, you need to allow yourself to express both spiritually and sexually. They need to happen in a way in which it's for you, right? The way it works for me may not work for you. So in the beginning, when I was, practice celibacy, it worked for me in the beginning. And then as time went on, celibacy did not work for me anymore. It was constricting me, and I needed to have more releases. Okay. And that's when I started to explore more in my sexuality as well. Okay. And then as I was experiencing sexuality and experimenting as well, because it's all an experiment, as you start experimenting in your sexuality, I started to also see that my spirituality was heightened. And then as my spirituality started to get heightened, then my sexual experience started to get heightened as well. So I remember this one time, I'll share this with you, I don't care. Um, I I was visiting a person who I was having sexual relations with, an ex-boyfriend of mine, and I remember right before we ended up having sex, I decided to meditate. I said, you know something, you go shower, I'm gonna go meditate. I just feel like I need to meditate. So I had a meditation, and my meditation was very beautiful. I felt very heightened. It felt so good. I felt relaxed. And then I ended up having sex with my partner, and we both had an amazing experience. Not only me, but he also felt the energy as well. Okay, where it was just so much connection, so much intimacy, and just fun. It was just so much fun as well, right? Because people see intimacy sometimes as being really serious, right? Like, oh, it's so serious and so love, right? And then sometimes intimacy can also be very playful, laughing and like doing different things with one another, experimenting, right? Being fun and seeing what each other likes, right? And what you like yourself, right? And being able to share that with your partner. What I've learned too is that as I started becoming more confident in my spiritual experiences, and really becoming clear about my abilities and seeing how they continue to heighten, you know, I just think about 2 years ago versus today. 2 years ago today, I didn't have the same vibrational frequency as I have now, like this high spiritual vibration, and also sexually as well. So it's like they keep piggybacking off of each other. And I share this with you not to give you my intimate details, like who gives a shit, like sorry for my language, but who cares about what's going on in my sexual life or my spiritual life. I share this with you so that it can help you as well, because what I've seen in some of the works that I've been doing is that people want approval. Oh, is that okay? Like, I want to like have sex with this person, but we're technically not in a fully committed relationship. Is that wrong? Am I going to be like punished? And you will only be punished by to yourself. So you do your own punishments, okay? Um the universe gives us exactly what we ask for, exactly what we want. And sometimes we don't know why and how that is exactly what I want, like getting my car towed and going through all of this process. I don't know how that gave me what I wanted right at that moment in time, but now I know why it gave me what I wanted, because I was able to come into this space right now and really see how powerful it is to be in a space of bliss. And when I'm saying bliss, I'm talking about bliss both spiritually and sexually. And I'm not having sex in front of you right now, right? But I am in bliss, right? And that's that vibrational frequency that we all want to move into. So I'm doing a time check. It is 3:55. So I'm just going to ask that you all submit more questions. I will stay on as long as you guys are here and active. Um, so I'm just going to look at the questions again to see if I answered all of them. I believe I did this one. Awesome. Expressed it so well. Thank you so much. Thank you, Denise. That means a lot because I know you're a sexuality expert, and I'm more of a spirituality expert. And I wanted to dive into this because it's so important, and I'm seeing it happen in my client's life at this moment in time where we're feeling scared to experience sexual experiences right now. Um, and you know, so okay, cool. We got more questions. How do you detach yourself sexually with someone you may think you may have a karmic relationship with? That's a wonderful question. Come to my workshop. If you're in New York, so come to my workshop because and the early bird special is still going on until the 22nd, and the information will be on my website miracleswithinus.net on the events link. But if you are not able, I this is a process um that you have to walk yourself through or have someone do work with you. So if you're not from New York and you can attend this workshop, we can do something um via like this, like Skype or one of these channels. If you have an iPhone, we could do like FaceTime now. I'm so happy with my iPhone. I just need to celebrate that all with you. Um and excuse me, because I had Android for a long time and I love Android. Don't get me wrong. I just moved into iPhone because it just started. I needed something that was a little bit easier for me to navigate with my business, pretty much. So it was more of a business need than a personal need, but I'm also enjoying it in both aspects. Yay! That's the beauty of life, being able to um, reap the pleasures of all connections, right? So, to answer your question, how to detach yourself sexually with someone you may think you have a karmic relationship. So, there's different type of karmic relationships that we create. There's karmic relationships that we have here in this life. Okay, and then there's karmic relationships that we have from other lifetimes. Okay, if we have a karmic tie from a past life, we a lot of the time we need to complete it or cut it. Okay, and this is a process of letting go. The cutting, right? You hear cutting cords and all of this a lot from spiritual leaders or light workers in the world. I use that term all the time as well, right? Where it's like cutting cords, it's really letting go. It's about completely letting go, and the letting go process is not something that you can rush. And sometimes it could be done right away. For some people, all they need is for them to have a session and it's gone. For other people, they need to do some of the work, and I find this a lot. It's more of an emotional work. Okay, and it's all about perception. So as you start shifting your perceptions, you start changing your vibrational frequency, and when you start changing your vibrational frequency, your conscious thoughts then begin to change. And then once your conscious thoughts begin to change and they continue to repeat, then that goes into your subconscious vibrational, like your subconscious mind, if you think about it, or if you think about it from vibration. Your subconscious mind is what's creating most of our experiences. It's the automatic pilot. It's the things we learned as we were growing up. And that's why in the beginning I talked about unlearning a lot of the tools that we've learned about ourselves, about sex, about spirituality. Okay. Um, Sex could be very spiritual. Okay. Whether we probably all heard of tantra. I always say a little wrong with my New York accent. Right? And I know you all know what I'm talking about with my New York accent. I really try to pronunciate, but it so comes out so hardcore. So with breaking away from karmic relationships, you would have to detect to see if it is a karmic relationship first. It might just be you holding on to a thought. But if it's like you've done a lot of healing and it's still there, then there's a tie. There's a lot of forgiveness that needs to be taking place from yourself and completely letting go of being right. I'm going to stay quiet on that one. Letting go of being right. Okay. So I hope I was able to explain that a little bit. But send me a message at miracleswithinus@gmail.com and we could connect a little bit more, because um, each tie or each karmic connection, cord, whatever you want to, it's different and it needs to be treated individually. It's not something that is general. Because if it was so general, everyone would be able to just get it cut off, and that would be awesome. I would actually love that, you know, where it just be like, do this one process and it's done. I'm all about simple. That would, be awesome. Okay, so let's see. I hope I was able to answer that correctly. Okay, so let's see. I read a book that there are entities related to passion. Okay, so entities. Some people know that term. It could be entities, it could be the spirits that live within us. Some people will say it's our ancestry, our past life things. The truth is that no one could really make you do anything. Okay. Now, there are like, you get energetic attachments, and people will call those entities, right? So based on what you're doing. So like, for instance, you growing up in school, there's this one kid always getting in trouble. Like, they're doing things and getting in trouble. And people are like, why that kid's always in trouble? Well, maybe they did something once and then they attracted the energy or these entities that want the same type of attention. Okay. And what happens is they start living vicariously through you, but they do not have control. And this is very important. Entities, other spirits, they do not have control. Okay. And this is a really important thing. I want I wish, where's my pen? I want to write this down because I would like to do more discussions about this in another video. Because that itself will take some time to go through. But briefly right here, and can you like, if I don't do a video on that, whoever wrote that question, please reminds me and I'll get that up and running. Okay, because that's a really important one and I just need your help to remind me, because I am so blissed out right now that a lot of the times I don't remember what happens, because I'm so like not in like taking track of things. Okay, that's why I might seem a little bit all over the place with my discussions, because it's just like, woo, flowing with so much energy. So, just a little tackle on entities. They're attracted to us based on our behaviors, and based on how we think and feel and move around in life. And ways to get rid of entities also would be doing some clearing work, okay, some cutting of cords. It's very, very similar to karmic relationships. The difference with karmic relationships is that debts need to be paid, where with entities, they're just attachments because of where you are in life. So right now, in my personal experiences, like, I have entities that are related to things that I do. So I have entities that get pleasure through my heightened spiritual experiences, right? Or my heightened sexual experience. So I attract those entities to myself, and then that gives me motivation to move into doing more. So some entities are just supportive. It's more like a supportive energies on what you're doing. But sometimes it could be, let's say you were doing drugs for a long time and you attracted entities that are into drugs, and you're trying to now stop doing drugs, right? For whatever reason you chose to stop, right? I'm not putting that you should stop drugs, or I'm just saying you choose now to, you chose before this one and now you're choosing not to at this point. Okay, those entities are then still there, and they're going to give you the motivation to do the same behavior. So then in that circumstances, you're going to have to start doing some clearing, and you may need to work with someone else. I'm not going to say you're going to have to work with someone else. Um, I work with other people. I do a lot of the work myself, but I do go to other spiritual leaders and get work done because we need each other. Okay? Anyone who says you could do everything on your own is true. You can, but it will be very boring and it will take a lot of time, and who wants those things? I don't want things to take a lot of time unless it's really pleasurable, and that doesn't sound pleasurable. And what was the other thing I said? Too much time. Whatever. I'm so blissed out I can't remember what I just said. Thank you guys. I love you. Okay, so I hope I was able to answer a little bit about the entities there and the spirit bound energies that kind of stay lingering around us. Okay. So someone said I'll be there, traveling from Jersey. Woohoo to Jersey. Thank you for driving to the city. I am so happy that you will be attending. Awesome. Let's see. Did I answer? Yes, I answered the one with the angels. So I'm just going through the questions right now. If you have any more, please write. And then if I don't have anything, then I guess it's safe to say we could move on. For today, let's see. Yeah, so we did answer all of these. So this is wonderful. I really had a lot of fun doing this with you all. I will ask for all of you to help support me in sharing the content with others. There's only so much I can do on my own, and I ask that you all help spread the word. And it doesn't just have to be my content. It could be anything that you find useful in your life. You see a quote that motivated you, that transformed your energy, please move that on. Move that energy. Don't make it stay stuck with you. Please move it on. Let the energy to continue to flow. Okay. If you're going through something, reach out for support. There's so much support. So because I love you all so, so much, and I did not think this through very well, but please bear with me. I want to offer you all who watched this video, whether you watched it today, the day that it's live, or you watch it 10 years ago and this offer is still available, I would like for you to book a 20-minute complimentary session with me where we can discuss your spirituality and sexuality. Okay? How that looks like for you, okay? Because what it looks like for me is not going to work for you, and what it looks like for you will not work for me. And That's something that I'm very clear about, and I know that I can help you get to that full expression. I want you to be in bliss. I want you to be there, because it's not fun being here alone, because then I have to then come down to be and help you come back up. But if we could all just be blissed out all the time, we will have a lot of fun and it would be very, very playful. And who doesn't love playfulness? Okay. So the way to book your complimentary session is by going to my website at miracleswithinus.net. Again, so miracleswithinus.net. If you go on my homepage, it's like book complimentary session. I think it's right below my video where it's like my welcome video. Please book your session with me there. If you do not see the link for whatever reason, or you're not just fully computer savvy, I completely get that. Send me a message at miracleswithinus@gmail.com and say, hey, I was on your spirituality and sexuality webinar and I want to book the session, and I will send you my calendar. Okay. I want to connect with you. It doesn't matter where you are around the world. I will work with your schedule. Okay. I'm very flexible and I want to connect and help each and every person. Okay. So I think that's all for today. I'm just going to look through the questions again. And I just want to say thank you all for being here, taking the time. And thank you for being so flexible with me with the time, because I know I had set it up earlier. But everything happens for a reason, and I completely believe that. I believe in the synchronicity. So I want to thank you all. And so I'm just going to look here. Oh, thank you. Thank you for helping. Oh, thank you so much, Debbie. I love you. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate all that everyone is offering me at this moment in time. Thank you so much. Much light and positive energy to you. Thank you to you as well, and to everyone here. I'm very, very grateful for your time. So I think that was all the questions. Oh, there's another question I missed. What is the best way to be with a sexual partner who is not spiritual? Ooh, that's a juicy one. And I can't believe I skipped that question. Dun, 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 dun. Melissa's staying on. Okay. So, what is the best way to be in a sexual relationship with someone who isn't spiritual? This is a perfect question. And there is no right or correct way to do it. You just want to make sure that the person, ooh, the person that you're with, whether you're the spiritual person or not. So let's just do if you're the spiritual person and your partner is not spiritual. If you're spiritual, and your partner isn't, you want to just make sure that they respect your spiritual practices, because those practices move into the bedroom. Like, they move into your sexual experience regardless, and they need to be open to experiencing that with you. Okay. And vice versa. If your partner is the spiritual one and you are not spiritual, let them do what they need to do. You may be surprised at some of the things that they enjoy. So, going back to my story with my ex, he was not spiritual, right? But I was. So I did what I needed to do, which was meditate before having sex, and he went and showered, right? And then we connected, and then we both had a great connection. So you don't want to impose your spirituality on someone else, and nor do you want to receive someone's being imposed into your life. Now, you also need to be honest about how spiritual you want your relationship to be, because that's a whole different thing. If you want your partner to be the partner that goes with you to healing events and things like that, and they're not into spirituality, that can be a deal breaker. I'm not saying that it's not possible. What I'm saying is you may need to find a friend to do those things with, right? Like you have your friend that goes through those things to help fill the void of I want my partner, I want someone to go through this with me. It's really it's not a clear cut cookie straight line kind of thing. It's something you need to see how it works for you. So like currently in my life, my partner is not as spiritual as I am. Okay, I consider myself to be a highly spiritual person. Some people may or may not agree with that with me, but I consider myself to be a highly spiritual person. However, it works for us because he supports me. He supports what I need to do, just like I support what he needs to do to get to his goals, right? And his goals do not interfere with my goals, and my goals do not interfere with his goals. And that's something that you also need to be very aware of, is that yeah, you can have different ideas about spirituality and sexuality and relationships, but you have to see that if what their goals are, um, that you can support. If you cannot support the goal or they cannot support your goal, um, you're going to have a difficult time, and that might not be the relationship for you. But each partner, relationship is different. So don't just go and make a decision right now. Book your consultation with me, your free 20-minute session, and we could discuss it more in depth. Okay, so I hope I was able to answer that question. Let's see. Yep, that was the question that I just answered. Okay. Awesome. So thank you all very, very much for being here. Before we go, I want to do one more card. I have the other card out. I'm just going to leave it there. But I want to leave everyone with a card for another card for the day, since our energy has shifted into full expression and the card just flipped over. Okay, so we have Indigo and Crystal Children, Archangel Metatron. You have a bond with children. In particular, you can help children who are sensitive. Okay, so we have Archangel Metatron, as you can see. I don't know if you could see that, but they're talking about working with children, and indigo children and crystal children. So this is amazing. And what I feel here is not so much like working with children, but you've learned a lot today. Okay, take the information you've learned and share it. Okay, in your own way. How has this discussion enlightened you in some way? What did it create in you? What were some ahas, or like, I don't agree with that, but I agree with this? Okay, what were some of those things, and share it, because you are now moving into the leader role. So you guys are now experts in spirituality and sexuality, and I invite you all to share that with the community. So until the next time, I love you unconditionally. Namaste. Thank you so much for being here. And remember, get your complimentary session. Visit my website, miracleswithinus.net, or you can go on my website. You could send me an email at miracleswithinus@gmail.com. And until the next time, muchos besos. I love you. Bye.